Makeup on empty space. I am putting makeup on empty space. All patinas convening on empty space. Rouge blushing on empty space. I am putting makeup on empty space. Pasting eyelashes on empty space. Painting the eyebrows of empty space. Piling creams on empty space. Painting the phenomenal world. I am hanging ornaments on empty space. Gold clips, lacquer combs, plastic hairpins on empty space. I am sticking wire pins into empty space. I pour words over empty space. Enthrall the empty space. Packing, stuffing, jamming empty space. Spinning necklaces around empty space. Fancy this, imagine this, painting the phenomenal world. Bangles on wrists. Pendants hung on empty space. I am putting my memory into empty space, undressing you, hanging the wrinkled clothes on a nail, hanging the green coat on a nail, dancing in the evening. It ended with dancing in the evening. I am still thinking about putting makeup on empty space. I want to scare you, the hanging night, the drifting night, the moaning night, daughter of troubled sleep. I want to scare you. I bind as far as cold day goes. I bind the power of 20 husky men. I bind the seductive, colorful women, all of them. I bind the massive rock. I bind the hanging night, the drifting night, the moaning night, daughter of troubled sleep. I am binding my debts. I magnetize the phone bill. I bind the root of my sharp-pointed tongue. I cup my hands in water, splash water on empty space, water drunk by empty space. Look what thoughts will do. Look what words will do. From nothing to the face, from nothing to the root of the tongue, from nothing to speaking of empty space. I bind the ash tree. I bind the yew. I bind the willow. I bind uranium. I bind the uneconomical, unrenewable energy of uranium. Dash uranium to empty space. I bind the color red. I seduce the color red to empty space. I put the sunset in empty space. I take the blue of his eyes and make an offering to empty space, renewable blue. I take the green of everything coming to life. It grows and climbs into empty space. I put the white of the snow at the foot of empty space. I clasp the yellow of the cat's eyes sitting in the black space. I clasp them to my heart, empty space. I want the brown of this floor to rise up into empty space. Take the floor apart to find the brown. Bind it up again under spell of empty space. I want to take this old wall apart. I am rich in my mind thinking of this. I am thinking of putting makeup on empty space. Everything crumbles around empty space. The thin, dry weed crumbles. The milkweed is blown into empty space. I bind the stars reflected in your eye. From nothing to these typing fingers, from nothing to the legs of the elk, from nothing to the neck of the deer, from nothing to porcelain teeth, from nothing to the fine stand of pine in the forest. I kept it going when I put the water on, when I let the water run, sweeping together in empty space. There is a better way to say empty space. Turn yourself inside out, and you might disappear. You have a new definition in empty space. What I like about impermanence is the clash of my big body with empty space. I am putting the floor back together again. I am rebuilding the wall. I am slapping mortar on bricks. I am fastening the machine together with delicate wire. There is no eternal thread. Maybe there is thread of pure gold. I'm starting to sing inside about the empty space. There is some new detail every time. I am taping the picture I love so well on the wall. Moonless black night beyond country plaid curtains, everything illuminated out of empty space. I hang the black linen dress on my body, the hanging night, the drifting night, the moaning night, daughter of troubled sleep. This occurs to me. I hang up a mirror to catch stars. Everything occurs to me out in the night in my skull of empty space. I go outside in starry ice. I build up the house again in memory of empty space. This occurs to me about empty space, that it is never to be mentioned again. Fancy this, imagine this, painting the phenomenal world. There's talk of dressing the body with strange adornments to remind you of a vow to empty space. There's talk of the discourse in your mind like a silkworm. I wish to venture into a not chiseled place. I pour sand on the ground. Objects and vehicles emerge from the fog. The canyon is dangerous tonight. Suddenly there are warning lights. The patrol is helpful in the manner of guiding. There is talk of slowing down. There is talk of a feminine deity. I bind her with a briar. I bind with the tooth of a tiger. I bind with my quartz crystal. I magnetize the worlds. I cover myself with jewels. I drink Amrita. There is some new detail. There is a spangle on her shoe. There is a stud on her boot. The tires are studded for the difficult climb. I put my hands to my face. I am putting makeup on empty space. And I wanted to scare you with the night that scared me, the drifting night, the moaning night. Someone was always intruding to make you forget empty space. You put it all on. You paint your nails. You put on scarves, all the time adorning empty space. Whatever your name is, I tell you, empty space. With your fictions, with dancing, come around to it. With your funny way of singing, come around to it. With your smiling, come to it. With your enormous retinue and accumulation, come around to it. With your extras, come round to it. With your good fortune, with your lazy fortune, come round to it. When you look most like a bird, that is the time to come around to it. When you are cheating, come to it. When you are in your anguished head, when you are not sensible, when you are insisting on the praise from many tongues, it begins with the root of the tongue. It begins with the root of the heart. There is a spinal cord of wind, singing and moaning.